aka Floyd World.
I'm Raven Paris, the voice of experiences.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Hellzell, man.
I'm Walk Like Walk, and I'm empowered by 100 projects.
And I'm empowered by 100 projects.
And I am empowered by 100 projects.
And I'm empowered by 100 projects. Yes, sir.
Essentially, we all just want to be heard as humans. We all just want to, you don't have to be a creative. We all just want to be heard and understood. And if you're able to tell a story and put people in your shoes and give them a sense of empathy, you can really tell any story. You can really get any point across. Hey, what's going on? I'm D. Floyd, Floyd World, Floyd period, a lot of different names. Rapper, writer, radio host, community activist. Everything services the other. I really love doing the radio show. It's kind of a new thing. We probably a year and a half in. Floyd 118, each and every Mondays on Bliss FM and any other time on all the podcast stations. It just gives me a chance to take everything I've had experience-wise and put it all in one, and also give a platform to other people and other brands, businesses, entrepreneurs, just personalities who could use it. If you listen to the show, Floyd 118, there's a certain level of education there, but entertainment as well. And it's my experiences that kind of help me be able to vocalize these things in a universal language, because I have lived so many places. And I have dealt with so many different types of people that I feel like I could talk to them all.
I'm Raven Paris, the voice of experiences, and I got that name actually. I was in the Ween Academy, and they're big on just you identifying yourself and let you know what you do. So I love to give experiences, whether I'm interviewing, whether I'm hosting, whether I'm doing radio, whether I'm doing digital marketing, whether I am teaching the students how to do media journalism. I'm just big on giving experiences. So that's a little bit about me, what I do. Coming up, no one taught me how to be what I am right now, right? So no one told me that it's possible for you to be a radio personality. No one told me that it's possible to be able to go into television without you having to go to school for it. No one was actually that example for me. So by me being able to teach that and pay it forward, that's really big on me. And people don't just remember what they see. People remember how it made them feel. So that's why I'm big on giving experiences, because if I give you a feeling, you're going to want to come back to me. You're going to want to hire me. You're going to want to have me around you. You're going to want to pay me. You're going to want to actually just, like I said, be around me to get that experience. So just being able to pay it forward is really big, and I want to be able to leave that in my legacy. I want to be able to be known for how I made people feel.
Yeah, I'm Walk Like Walk. I guess I'm a host now. I hate that. But no, I'm a host. I do a podcast, the Tequila Talk podcast. You know, TLK, no A, no talk. But yeah, I bring people on the podcast, have a drink with me, and talk about everyday life. Started the show basically with an idea in 2014 after listening to the Combat Jack show. Rest in peace to him. And yeah, ended up buying my own equipment. Shout out to my boy Lance, he had space. And so we set up in that space. Did not know anything about podcasting. Did not know anything about audio engineering. My boy Ike, who's not here, he didn't know anything about camera work. We all figured it out from day one. And 3 years later, Ike has 3 cameras, and now I have like 5 different microphones. If I said I was going to do it, no matter if someone just tried to stop me, it could be a year later, it could be 3 minutes later, it could be 5 minutes later. I'm going to do it. At that point in time, it could be good things and bad things. That's probably why they hate me.
Yes, indeed, man. I go by the name of Hellzell. I'm an entertainer. I'm a teacher. I'm a host. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. I do it all for real, man. I tell people, when people ask me what I do, I literally tell them I do it all on this side. I mean, I didn't put myself in a box to just be a teacher. I didn't put myself in a box just to be a club host. I mean, I'll host a club, then I'll host a game show, then I'll host a wedding, then I'll open up for a church event, then I'll open up for a comedy event. My philanthropy work, I mean, I have a nonprofit that I do. I don't like limiting myself to just being just one thing, man. It's beauty and being myself as a human being, and just all the things that come with it, man. I just love it. Well, first, you gotta believe in yourself or nobody else will. And I walk around like I know. You know, I walk into a room like I know who I am, like I know I belong here. That's not something that I always had, but just by doing it, by putting in those hours, you get that confidence to be able to say, like, man, I belong here, or man, I hosted a show with 5 people in the stands. I also host with 5,000 people in the stand, and I do it the same way. It's just about doing the work, man. When you put in those hours and you do the work, that's where you pull from. I pull from the late nights. I pull from the endless notes on my phone. I pull from the days where I didn't want to. So I'm a firm believer. Like, if you don't believe it, they ain't gonna believe it. And the fake it till you make it is cool. And even if you gotta fake it till you believe it yourself is cool. But as long as you put in that work behind it, like, you'll get what you want. So yeah, I don't let nobody box me in. I'm a teacher. I'm a host. I'm a comedian. I'm a philanthropist. I'm an entertainer, and I put in hours with all of those things. So I genuinely believe that I am all of those things, and I could walk around with my head up like that's exactly what I am.
I'm coming into like my 5th year of doing radio, this whole freelance entertainment thing that I've got myself into, right? But I got the idea because it's something I always dreamed about doing as a kid. So you have to always remember what made you feel good as a child. What was it that made you like, oh my gosh, I gotta do that? Like, you gotta remember that feeling first. 5 years ago, I had watched this movie called The Secret. And The Secret is all about seeing something, believing in it, and feeling it, and you can make it happen. So that was the first year I did like a vision board. And on that vision board, I literally put, I want to start a radio show. I literally put, I had like a radio show. I had, of course, like this check on there, a card, X, Y, Z. But literally, everything I put on my vision board, I was able to accomplish it. And I had just used the tools of The Secret, which goes to show when you are intentional on what it is that you want to do, if you really if you can see it, you know how to plan and strategize to start crossing off those goals. So it's really important that you are able to see it, because a lot of times the world can't see what's in your head and what's in your vision. So it's important up to you to paint that picture. Then other people will be able to, I guess, like, want to buy the dream that you put together. So that's basically what I would say. Remain intentional. Remember that inner child in you, what made it happy, and just go for it and be intentional with what it is that you want.
I think support was a big thing for me. I didn't look for it. I just put my head down and say, man, let me do this. But when you get support for doing this and you get support for doing that, it makes it a little easier to keep going. So really the people, man, and that they trust it. So I could do a toy drive and they'll donate toys, or I can host a club and they'll come to the club, or do a church event and they'll come to the church. So I think just having people support me, that just gave me like that confidence. Like, I mean, they let me know that they rock with me, and I'm like, it gives me that confidence to continue to be myself and show like that you can be a whole human being and just have these different areas of you. And it's something that I just jump out and say, I'm all of these things. It's like, I love to host, but I'm also a teacher. But at first I didn't want to mix the two. I didn't want people to feel away, but then I just got to a point like, man, this is me, this is me. And then people trust you, and they trust you for being you. It's like, oh, I host your wedding too. I also will go do this philanthropy work for the kids.
Right.
So it wasn't something that just happened all at once, but just something that just built over time, and it's still building. And I mean, I love the process though.
I want to do more music again. We did an EP last year called Legacy at the end of the year that really had amazing reviews, and the feedback was great. Right before that was Crown. And so with the radio show doing great, like I said, with all these different things, one hand got to wash the other. And the bigger the radio show gets, or the bigger the music gets, the bigger everything gets, right? I do a mentoring program right there in Southeast DC in Ward 8 in Berry Farms neighborhood, ages 5 through 15. But the bigger I am in stature, the more money comes in, the more collaborators come in, the more influencers come in to help these kids. So it all kind of helps each other. The more I'm able to do in any one of these fields, the better I can do all over.
Alignment, remaining aligned with God's purpose for me, and praying that it is also what I want to do as well. So praying that whatever He has for me, I'm able to do so by still making myself happy in the process. And creatively, I want to be able to be the best producer. I want to be able to create content that is transparent, because I also have a social work degree. So if I'm able to create an environment or spaces by me doing my retreats, or if I'm able to create a platform where I'm able to talk about healing or trauma or how to get through it or things I've experienced that other people don't have experienced. That's what I want to tend to do. So just being able to keep producing content to get out to inspire people. I want to keep being able to put media journalism programs inside schools. I want to be that teacher that kids remember. Like, you have that one teacher that makes you feel some type of way, that taught you something. I want to be that teacher. I also want to have a show on OWN Network. She's big on just feeding the soul. So I want to continue to create content that serves intention, that's really intentional. And also I want to still be able to just connect with my friends and my family, the regular everyday people. So I'm just in the process of keep creating, being aligned with God's purpose, be an example for other women, to not have to sell your soul or do anything that's against your morals or integrity, because we are in a male-dominated industry. So it's important that I be that example to know you don't gotta have sex with other people, or you don't gotta cheat the next woman to get a job by going by her back being cutthroat. You don't have to do none of that stuff. Just continue to be aligned in purpose and create. That's where I'm at right now.
I want people to have podcasts, because if you think about it, we're actually behind in the DC area. New York, LA, even Atlanta, they're moving. They have sponsors for every show. They're doing live shows. They're traveling with their shows. You can't really think of one DC one that's actually traveling with their podcast. I don't care if it's my show or I'm just pushing someone else's show. I want to be one of the first to actually push DC to the point where it's like, okay, we're now a podcast market. In the next year, 3 years, I kind of want to put Tequila Talk in more of it's going to be a podcast, but I want to put it to a show base. And in that time, I already had ideas for different podcasts for different people, so I'm probably going to be busy, but I want to move it towards, have you ever seen a show kind of line like Hot Ones, where we just have different tequilas, have different tequila brands, sponsor the show, because I've been drinking tequila forever. More visuals, more guests that are out here doing things. I wouldn't mind people coming to DC and they say, hey, I got to stop by and drink tequila with Walt and the crew just to promote my album and things of that nature.
Don't get stuck in the quicksand. It's very easy to depression or a dark space. It's almost romantic. It's almost sensual. It's almost nurturing. And I know that sounds weird to say, but anybody who's ever dealt with that knows what I mean. Like, it's almost like you're almost more comfortable curled up in that bed in the dark room than hopping out of bed and being optimistic. Life is so life sometimes. It's unpredictable. It comes every different way at you, and we want to control things, but we can't control nothing. And so when things don't necessarily go in our favor, some of us feel things so deeply that it's hard to disconnect from that emotion.
Well, it was days I didn't want to keep going. It was days where I was literally like not wanting to do stand-up. It was days where I made an excuse not to do it, or I would purposely make myself fall asleep and say I was going to get a nap and not set an alarm, so when I woke up, that'd be my excuse, like, oh man, I missed it. Social media don't know when I moved to Atlanta and was sleeping on my man couch trying to find a job. Social media don't know that I was working at Enterprise trying to do stand-up, and then when I actually did stand-up, social media don't know that I was getting booed off them stages there, or was performing with 5 people in them, at a bar, and I was doing it just to do it, or social media don't know when I wasn't doing it because I was feeling the way. I don't know if I want to call it depression, but I was feeling the way where I'm like, man, this may not be for me. They don't see that part, and they don't know that part. They don't see the L's that I took. They don't see the calls that I didn't get that I wanted, and I'm seeing somebody else hosting the event that I really wanted to host. They don't see that part.
I can't speak for everybody, but I know I'm a Jesus lover. So I know it's been times where as though I've been like sad, like I'm crying, shaking, and legit I scream out Jesus and I know it sounds like so cliche, but I scream out Jesus in the sense of me like screaming out his name, some type of sense of urgency and calmness just will take over. So in the midst of having those like low moments, I pray. Every day I wake up, I pray. Throughout the day, I'm praying. Before I go to sleep, I'm praying. That helps me get through those moments because I know that God put me here for a reason. It's reasons why I've made it through car accidents and being held at gunpoint and depression and all this sad stuff, that I'm still here. So that just gives me assurance, like, all right, bet you're not where you was. You made it through that, so it's purpose and more for your life. So I think that motivates me to keep going, like, because I'm here for a reason. People saying, oh, you motivate me, you inspire me, thank you for helping me do this, that gives me assurance, like, all right, bet I'm here for a reason, so Ray, you gotta keep doing it. You may not feel like it, but you gotta keep going.
But what I will say, I had good people in my corner to encourage me. One of them was Jimmy Jenkins, man. Jimmy did not, he never let me stop. He was my roommate in Atlanta, but he'd bust in my room like, oh, you laying down again? You don't want this for real. And then I go over to his room and he's sitting there writing the script. While I leave for work, he writing the script. I come back, he writing the script. So being around those kind of people and seeing what they do and knowing that he's just like me, his process is just like mine, just in a different lane. That's what like got me going and kind of got me up out of that. He believed in me, you know, and people believe like, bro, I trust my friends and I trust that they won't tell me anything wrong, and if it's for me, it's for me. So having the right people around you and having the right people that can encourage you but also call you out on your bull, I think that's one of the biggest, it is the biggest thing for me. Like that kind of helped me like just keep going and realize like, man, you do have this and you can get this.
My only advice to anybody, including myself, is just to keep going. Even in your darkest moments or when it's harder, you just got to put one foot in front of the other, even if it takes you a while to put that one foot down. I don't give a fuck how long it takes you. Put the foot down and then put the other foot up and just keep going. Eventually it becomes easier and you get through it. And the more you know yourself, the better you can regulate these things, right? So you know, okay, I'm getting in the dark space or I'm feeling away, so you can do things to snap out of that, and I think that's important. I think it's important to write down your goals, write down a timeline, write down a deadline. I always give myself a deadline, even if nobody knows, nobody cares. I don't want to make a public display of it. You know, my album drops such and such. People don't care about that. But you tell it to yourself and you work towards that date and you execute. And I think that's the most important thing. You know, not sleeping the day away. Get some sleep, but wake up, get your day going and attack the day.
I plan a lot. I take a lot of notes. I also organize a lot of events. I also make sure I connect myself with a lot of different women just so I can make sure I have these different resources and relationships. And on top of that, I'm not afraid to put myself in other environments where I may be the only woman in the room, or I may be the only young person there, or I may have to move to another state, or I may have to just be uncomfortable, because I know that moment of being uncomfortable is going to just work out in my favor for real. So those are like some of the things that I do just to remain organized. It's a lot. I just take every day by day. I'm just all over the place. I just write, I organize, and I make it happen.
Man, it's real, you know, but it's beauty in the struggle too. Like, dang, social media didn't see me freaking Ubering, you know what I mean, to make ends meet, and then doing food surveys, you know what I mean, tasting like the chicken sandwich I ate, I've been tasted that, you feel what I'm saying? I tasted that for $100 gift card. They don't see that part. They don't see the hustle part, and it's okay, but I mean, people are in love with the product, not the process. But I'm also okay with that because I know what the process was for me, but that's what drives me, and that's what keeps me like going. Like, I know what I had to do to even get like the things that I do get now. I know what goes into it. I know what goes into a 2-hour Hell's show. You know, I know that was countless hours in here, 12-hour days in here after 8-hour days at work. People don't see that part though. They just see the 2-hour Hell's show and they love it. But I know the process, and my team know the process, and that's what makes it sweeter when you do kind of win from it.
As far as helping other people out, I really don't care. Like, all you do is contact me. If you're watching this, DM me on IG, Walk Like Walk, and it's real simple, nothing spelled crazy. I actually have a note in my phone right now, 10 steps on how to start a podcast, because I got tired of typing it out. So it's just like, it's sending off to people. It's basically explaining how to get what equipment you need, for beginners, what I guess platforms you need to be on, things of that nature. So yeah, I mean, I definitely don't mind helping no one out. Like I said, you might come up with ideas more lit than mine. If I don't mind being the producer behind the screen right now, I'm getting old. So I will gladly push your show. It's not a big deal.
I think the biggest thing with that is having people that believe in you and believe in your vision, and that shares your same vision. Everybody that works with me, I only like saying my team. I like saying like the team. Everybody has their part and everybody does their part. They don't even understand the idea that they put in that goes in the show beyond of what they just do. So, man, it's super important. I tried to do it by myself, and that don't work like that. So having people that believe in you and that share the vision and that just generally want to win because they know when you win, we win. And I feel the same way. And that's why anything that they have, I'm offering what I do too, bar none. Because I know if they win, I win. If I win, they win. So.
100 projects is so needed right now just because, like you said, it's important to pay it forward. I love giving and being a service to people. Love trumps hate. That's just like the most simplest way I could say it. So if everybody was able to help other people and actually want to help other people and actually is secure within themselves to not feel as though they have to tear other people down or try to hate on other people or discourage other people from accomplishing their goals, then it will be a lot of happy people here. So I feel like 100 projects will be able to motivate each other. We'll be able to see what other people is doing, which will keep that feel like, oh, that let me put more hours into my craft. Let me do what I got to do because that person is getting it. Oh, that person is getting it, and I have the ability to get it too.
I think 100 projects is needed right now is to basically keep people who are creative accountable. It's not just for our personal use. It's cool to be inspired by a rapper or entertainer from someone else, but why not see someone like Murtis or Walter from wherever in Maryland? Okay, they're doing this. I could reach out to this guy. I see this every day. So why not follow in their footsteps and give back? Why not follow in their footsteps and create content or bring people to my area and build up my area? So basically just giving back to me. It's just, I want someone who's 15 years old right now, don't do what I do. But if you find Tequila Talk, like I can do this when I'm 20-something years old. I can get camera. I can learn how to do audio. I can learn how to do camera. I know how to do this stuff. Will bring something back to the community. And then when they're 30 years old, they go back and teach someone else how to do the same thing.
Paying it forward.
That's all it is, paying it forward. Yeah.
100 projects is important just because it shows the real. I mean, a lot of times we get this image of people and all we see is the fame. We see the jewelry. We see the girls. But it's some real out here too. There's some real people doing some real things that's just like you. And I think the biggest thing is that people can get from it is inspiration. You know, having somebody they can relate to. Like I go to work full time. Somebody else goes to work full time and may not feel like they have time for their dreams. I go to work full time and I put in that same amount of time in my dreams too. I think that's important for people to know. And now that I'm reaching just new heights, I mean, I am aware that I don't even like to say I'm at a certain place, but I am aware of the new heights that I'm reaching. And things keep getting greater, but that's just a testament of doing the work. That's just a testament of the hours that you put in, and I think that's important to show the real. You know, like you said, all we get is the glitz and glam of the finished product. You don't get the behind the scenes. You don't get the how many hours you put in, because there are a lot of microwavable stars. Instagram can make you think it just happened like that. You can have something to go viral and just put you right there. You know, but that's never the goal. When I get put right there, I want to stay right there, and I want to keep going and bring up the next man and show the next people, next person, what we have to do to get there. So, I mean, something like this is important. 100 projects is important. It's the real. It shows real life, in-depth look of what it is, what the process is, what the hours are. So, man, it's big.
100 projects is essential because it motivates the creatives to motivate other creatives. It forces you to kind of keep up with the Joneses and keep up with what's going on and stay in tune. And I think that competition and encouragement is so important for all of us, and especially in the creative world. So a project like 100 projects is just something that inspires everybody to better themselves and be better than the last time. You want to have something to offer, and when you see that other people have something to offer, it encourages you and it inspires you and it exhilarates you to want to be amongst the greats and do great things. And in the process, it affects everybody around you. Everybody benefits from this. Everybody.